How are we all doing, guys? So, we've been doing this series of what have I been playing and what am I going to play. So this is episode 2. As I said last week, I'll let you know what I was planning on playing this week. And I said that we'd do this on a weekly basis, compare what I said I was going to play, whether it would turn out the same. And also what I thought of the games I had played as well, especially if there were new ones. So, first things first, game that's playing at the moment, which is Whip Rush on the Mega Drive. This was a Japanese game. I'm pretty certain it wasn't released over here. I had this back in the day on my Japanese Mega Drive, and it was a game that all my friends wanted and couldn't get hold of. And I was the only one who had it, because I was the only one who had a Japanese Mega Drive at the time. Great game this is, and yes, I have been playing that this week. It wasn't one I was planning on playing, but I do like this game, and if I ever get the chance, I quickly bang it on and have a go. So yeah, so that's what's running in the background. You'll probably see a bit of gameplay here and there as it's doing the intros. If you have got access to this game and have never played it, go ahead and play it, because it's really good. If you like your side-scrolling shoot 'em ups, you'll love this game. It's really good. Music's fantastic as well. Right, okay, so let's have a look at what I've been playing. It has slightly changed from what I said I was going to play the last week, with the exception of the Switch. I did say I was going to play some of my new Switch games. Unfortunately, that has not ended up being a thing. Time has been pretty tight. I've had a bit of a rubbish week. I finished work and a few hours, literally had about 3 hours kip, then had to get up and go and have my COVID jab, which left me feeling pretty rough for the next couple of days. So I didn't feel like playing anything at that point. And then there's been things like Connor's football training, his football match. So time's been pretty short, if you like. So I've managed to play what I was going to play on the PlayStation 4. Obviously, I've played Whip Rush, which I've already said. So let's just go through what games they were. Now, we'll start with the worst one first. This one I didn't actually say I was going to play this week, but this was one that I'd bought that I hadn't tried yet. So that one is, I'll just get it so there's no glare there, Crash Dummy for the PS4. Now, let's hold that up, see if you can see the back. Now, there will be a bit of gameplay coming up. Now, this game, I picked up, really it's because I'd seen Eddie from Rollercore's video, and he'd picked up this and Helmet, which I also picked up, and that's one of them I was planning on playing this week as well. And basically I picked them up because I've been doing what can you get for £10, and these were $4.99 each, so I picked this one and Helmet up, and they're from Funbox Media. So yeah, he did apologise to me after he'd seen my video that I'd collected him. He said, like, I'm really sorry, Lee. I was like, oh, is it that bad? And he's not wrong, it's terrible. So it's a 2D platformer, which you'd think would make it fairly good. No. There's a very long video intro where you have to keep pushing the button to get the next bit of text to come up, and there's some annoying sound effects as well. And then you get into the game after about 5 minutes of that, and then when you do get into the game, it's lots of this is how you do, or this is what you should do this, and it's constant tutorial just keeps coming up all the time while you're playing. The problem with it is, and you wouldn't mind if it actually was a good tutorial, but it's not. Like sometimes it says hit the action button to do this. Well, that's very helpful, mate, but what is the action button? You haven't actually told me that. So you're sitting there having to push all the buttons anyway to find it, which is annoying, because you think, well, what's the point in a tutorial if you're not actually going to tell me what button does what? On some things, it does tell you what it is. Like the running, it tells you L1, R1, very helpful. But when it says action button, well, cheers, mate, which one's the action button? So it's a bit hit and miss. And to be quite honest, the music's annoying, the sound effects are annoying, especially when it comes up with text. You've got this annoying, like, buzzing sound as it's doing it. Yeah, to be quite honest, yeah, I seriously doubt I'm going to play this again. Yeah, I had it going, I think, for about 20 minutes, and that was enough for me. Like, yeah, I'd had enough at that point. I probably won't play it again. If I do it, I'll probably be under protest. Yeah, bad game, bad game. So, yeah, I wouldn't advise getting it. Right, okay, then we move on to the next one, which, like I said, was Helmet. Now, Helmet is one I did say I was going to play this week, and I bunged it on. And basically, it's a dungeon crawler. But it's done with like a retro feel, you know, it's all pixel-ated sort of graphics, and you know, it's nice looking game. The only problem with it is it's bloody hard. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to work its way into it so you can get the hang of it. It throws you right in at the deep end, and it's one of them games. I wouldn't say it's a bad game, because it's not a bad game. It's just a hard game, and it's one of them where you're going to have to get the hang of how you play it, because it's a twin stick. So yeah, one stick obviously controls your character, the other one controls where you're shooting. But it's very different to a lot of them I've played before, so it's trying to get used to how you play this one. So it's, like I say, it's not a bad game, it's just hard, and the controls are not the same as what I've played in the past. So it's more of me learning how to get to grips with the controls. Once I do, I'm sure I'll be fine at it. So again, there's footage, as you can see, running above, and you'll be able to see from that how terrible I did, because yeah, I did seem to get battered pretty quickly. So yeah, it's one that's going to need some practice, and I will be carrying on with that for sure. So yeah, that's Helmet. Right, now this one I really enjoyed, and that is Axiom Verge. And again, you'll see some footage up there. So this one is basically like your Metroidvania style game. Yeah, you got to run around, collect a gun. That gun then lets you shoot things to get into here, and you work your way through. And then you get another gun which will allow you to reach things that you couldn't reach with the other gun. You shoot that, and then you get through there, and so on. And very good game. You've got a save point at the beginning, so basically if you die, you just go back to there all the time. Yeah, very good. I mean, it's a game that you can just keep going if you want, but regardless of how many times you die. But yeah, it's good. It's definitely one of them ones where, because as you're going along, it sort of opens up the little map in the corner, which you'll probably be able to see on the footage window there. And as you go along, you're opening more of the map up, which is helpful then, because then you know where you've been and where you haven't. Because there's little sort of tunnels that lead off all different directions. And you might go through one tunnel and go, oh, I can't get past that bit. And it'll be because you need to go up the level and in this bit to get this gun so that you can then get in there. It's one of them sort of games. But very good. Again, it's done with a sort of retro feel, as you can see. Fantastic game, definitely playable. And this is one I could have sat on this for a lot longer than I did, just didn't have the time. So yeah, definitely will be giving this a blast again this week. So that's one that I will be revisiting for sure. Brilliant game, really like that. Right, and then we get to my favourite one of them all, and that is Valfaris. Brilliant game. What's not to like about this? So it's an action platformer, again done with the sort of retro feel, you know, the pixelated little graphics and that, and fantastic game. I mean, before I even talk about the game, the soundtrack is brilliant. It's like a metal soundtrack. I know loads of people have said about this, how good the music is, but they're not kidding. It's very good music. It sounds great. So yeah, and it's one of them, when you keep hearing the music going, it makes you want to keep going with the game. And again, this is another one I would have loved to have played for longer, but because I wanted to get a go on Axiom Verge, I didn't have as long as I would have liked. Now you'll see by the footage just playing in the corner, you'll probably see that I die a few times, and that's because it is teaching you as you go along. It's nothing like that Crash Dummies. It comes up in little text while you're playing. and it shows you, you know, it tells you what to do. The thing is that although it teaches you what to do, the game isn't easy. It does get quite challenging quite quickly. So you do see at one point I keep dying, and it's because I haven't quite figured out, like on one part in particular, I haven't quite figured out that I can jump between two railings to shoot this thing that's moving up and down. And the first time I try it, I use all my shield up, and then I get to the next bit and I die. And then it was like, oh, so how do you get around that then? Because you're going to use all your shield. Oh, hang on, you can jump between the railings. You work out the pattern of how it moves, you jump between the railings and shoot. So it's things like that. You just got to think about what you're doing. And it is a good game for that. It does make you think. Now, the other added details, besides the music and the retro-looking pixels and all that, the other thing is that I like the attention to detail. Going into the game, you got like a little, like sort of, you have cutscenes, very well done. You know, not too long, not too short, puts the story across, perfect. And you've also got like attention to detail in the game. Like, for example, when you shoot the hounds, they turn into little chunks and bounce everywhere. If you shoot a guy and then walk across it, you'll see blood squirt up off the floor. When you hack a guy with your sword, you'll see that it chops the top half of him off, and then the legs are wandering around with all the intestines hanging out, and you see it all flopping around, and then the legs fall over. So there's a lot of attention to detail in the background, and if you're too busy concentrating as you're playing, you might not notice that. But you know, I noticed a lot more when I watched it back afterwards, because you can see more stuff that's going on. The other thing is, for example, there's a part where I just got I think it's called the Hellwraith gun. When you get that, if you look as you're firing it, you'll see there's all blood dripping down from the barrel of the milligun, which is another nice little detail. There's a lot of detail in this game, and yeah, it's really good. So this is one I'm itching to get back on. This one and Axiom Verge, really good games. Really good games. Yeah, and also in some ways they're similar, not exactly the same, but they're similar. So, and that's probably why I enjoy them both. So yeah, definitely going to be going back on that this week. So, right, okay, so we get to, well, I'll mention this first. Like I said, I was going to play the Switch games, which was Simmora EX, Mario All-Stars, and Mario 3D World. Was it? Yeah, 3D World, I'm sure it is. I got the name of it wrong last week. I probably got it wrong again this week. I was going to play them this week, and obviously, like I said at the beginning, I haven't had a chance to, so due to time. So this week, what I plan on playing is I plan on playing all three of those. So that'll be Simmora EX, picture will come up here. The Mario All-Stars, again, picture. And the 3D Mario World with Bowser's Fury. So I'll be playing them on the Switch because, again, I haven't had a chance to play them. So and I do intend on fitting them in this week. As well as Valfaris, Axiom Verge, and if I get time, a bit more of Helmet. But Crash Dummy, no way. No way. I have no interest in playing that anymore. That's the end of that. So yeah. So that's what I've been playing, and that is what I will be playing. So hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. And if you have, please like, share and subscribe. And also hit that notification bell. And when you do, click all so that it makes you aware of all our future videos. And also comment below. It's always good to hear what you guys are playing, or any new games that you've got hold of. Let us know in the comments below. You know, what you've been playing this week, or what you've played and maybe it's rubbish. You know, all them sort of things. Let us know. Now, while I'm doing this, like I've been doing on videos recently, just introducing you to the Anbernic Facebook group. Should I say the Unofficial Anbernic Facebook group. So, long story short, it's a page for anybody who likes handheld emulation devices. As you know, I've got a few, and I joined as a member, and was asked by Andy from UK Crack Gaming if I was interested in coming on as an admin, which I now have done. And yeah, it's a great place to go. If you're into them sort of things, you can go over there. You can find out about custom firmware that's coming out, what device you should get if you want to run a certain system, what device is the best on the market at the moment. All these sort of things you can find out from there. There's a good bunch of people there, and you know, there's quite a few of us. So and it's growing every day. So I've already seen it since the last few days. It's gained at least 15 people in that time. So it's growing quickly. So if that's something you're into, check out the link in the description below. Head on over, bang a like in or join or whatever, and one of us will okay you, and then you'll be able to chat to everyone. And there's some good chat down there. I mean, I was actually talking to a few of the guys the other day just about the Raspberry Pis. Obviously it's not a handheld, but somebody mentioned that they've got a Pi 4, and I mentioned that I've got a Pi 3, and I'd put it in a Mega Pi case, which I'd done a video for on here, and I linked the video down below so that they could have a look at how you did it. And you know, so there occasionally there are things mentioned that aren't just the handheld emulation. So you know, even if you're in a situation like that, maybe come over. You might occasionally see something in the console emulation area. So anyway, I'm going to leave that one there, guys. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.